Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here with us again. Tonight we're going to talk about what are ways to increase sales. This is going to be huge. I promise you, watch this one and learn from this one. Watch it to the end because I guarantee if you do these things, you're going to be able to increase your sales just like that. Your sales can go from here to there very quickly. And the things I'm going to talk about are real world things that I have dealt with in my own personal businesses, in my personal life, and what I've experienced with other companies time after time after time again. So once again, watch each one of these. We're going to talk about what are ways to increase your sales for your business. This is key. Here we go. Answer your phone, get more clients. You would think that's a no-brainer, right? Answer your phone so you can get more clients. Let's say you spend money on advertising and your phone rings, but does it get answered? That's the question, does it get answered? We used to do competitive price shopping with other clients from our business. We'd call 20 different competitors, and we'd look up their ads, we'd call the different competitors. 15 out of the 20 wouldn't answer the phone. I'm like, wait a minute. You spend all this money on advertising to advertise your business, but yet you're not answering your phone. 15 of them. Do you know that when someone calls your business and if you don't answer your phone, guess what they do? Especially if it's a need-based business and they need somebody right now, maybe like a plumber, electrician, HVAC, power washer, whatever it is. If you don't answer your phone, guess what they do? They just go to the next person and they just call somebody else. That's it. They call somebody else right away just like that, and you lose that client. More sales are lost in this one thing right there, right here, by you not answering your phone. Answering your phone is so valuable. And also how you answer your phone. But we're just talking about answering your damn phone. If you can't answer your phone, then why be in business? Why advertise? Now, I understand sometimes you get so busy that you just can't do it. So you got to have some way to make up for that. I would suggest maybe you'll get a call center, an answer service, hire an employee, do something, because every time you don't answer the phone, you lose money. Let's say you're just advertising. Let's just give you a little advertising lesson here. You're spending $50 per phone call. That's what your ads are charging you. You miss 2 calls a day, that's $100 a day, that's $500 a week, $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. That adds up fast. Think about your bottom line. $24,000 a year just for missing 2 phone calls. But now that's just what it cost you to not answer the phone. No, but what if your average ticket was like, let's say $500? That's $1,000 a day, $5,000. We're only doing a 5-day work week too. $20,000 with $240,000 in lost potential revenue. Then, of course, there's always the lifetime value. And I've talked about this in other videos about the one-time value versus the lifetime value. And I guarantee you this, if you don't answer your phone, you just don't get it. You don't get the customer because they're going to go somewhere else. So figure out a way to make your phone work for you, not against you. Remember, we're talking about how to increase our sales. Well, how do you even know your phone's not being answered? This is why I always say, put a tracking number on every single thing that you do in regards to an ad or your main lines. This way, you as the owner, each day you can go through all the calls, or you assign somebody to go through all the calls to make sure every call that came in was actually answered by a person and it was answered correctly. That's how you can increase your sales, just like that. I'm talking instantaneously, you can increase your sales just like that. Because sometimes what happens is you do answer the phone, but the person answering the phone, they're horrible about answering the phone. They're horrible at how they do it. They're just not really good at it at all. So maybe you need to find someone who is good at it. We always said, smile when you answer the phone. Let them hear your energy. Let them hear how excited you are that you called our business. It makes all the difference in the world. Answer your phone and make sure whoever answers it correctly with an objective in mind and a sense of urgency to close that call, to make that call into an actual paying client. That's huge. Okay, step 2. Follow through. See what I wrote? It keeps more clients. So following through keeps more clients. Let me tell you this. I have called more people to give me a bid on something for my own personal house over the years. And I can tell you that so many of them, they come out, they take the time, they come out, they look at the project, oh yeah, we're going to get right back to you. And they never get back to you. So you have to call them 2 weeks later, hey, did you get that bid for me? 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 Seriously, I was ready to spend my money, write them a check right there on the spot if they would have just followed through, and then they would have kept me as a client, but instead they lost me as a client. Now, we've gone to many customers' houses over the years, and they'll say, yeah, I had another company come out, and they just never showed back up. They never called me back. They said they're going to give me an estimate. They just didn't do it. They didn't never follow through with me. I sit there shocked at like, holy shit, you spent the money on the call. You got the client, but you didn't follow through. You didn't follow through. So following through keeps your clients. You hooked them. Now it's time to bring them in and get them to write you that check, because you know every business fails for two reasons: a lack of money, lack of sales. So if you can't follow through, guess what you're going to have is a lack of sales. So make sure you follow through every single time. It's so important. I can't stress this enough to you. My number one priority in a business is, if you rely on your phone as a service business to be answered, is to make sure that phone is answered no matter what. Every single day, all day long, no matter what, because you're losing money every time you don't answer that phone. And make sure you answer it correctly. Remember, thank you for calling. Be nice, be grateful, be happy, because that client is who pays every one of your bills, your employees' paychecks, not us. Without the client, we have no business. That's the bottom line, okay? So check this out. Number 3, increase your profits with each client. We always call it increase your profits per customer. When we would send a technician out to a house, we're like, what else can we offer to the client? Does the client know that we offer this? Because sometimes the client has you come out to their house, and what happens, they have you come out for one specific thing, and maybe they want other things, but they don't know you offer those things. So we used to always create what we called a We Do More letter. And a We Do More letter is something we would give our technicians to give to a client. This way a client could look at this and say, oh, wait, you guys do this? Oh, you do this too? I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you did that at all. Well, yeah, we sure do, Miss Jones. We do this, and we do this. We can do all these different things for you, and you guys should create one too. A We Do More letter for every one of your clients. This way they know all the services you actually offer, all the products that you have. If you go to a restaurant, are you only going to have one thing on the menu? No. You're going to have a whole list of things to choose from. We know we probably came for this, but oh my God, but I might want that. Ooh, I definitely want that. Oh my God, I definitely want that. So the point is in your business, in your service business, if you're in the trades, I don't care what it is, give them a We Do More letter. This way they know all the things that you actually do, and offer those things to them. Allow them the opportunity to say no. And it's your ethical obligation to offer these things to your clients. If you know it could benefit them, if you know it could help them, if you know it can make their life better by adding additional things, it's an obligation that you should take seriously and actually make sure the client knows that you can do all these other things that would enhance their life and make their life better, make their home better, make their business better. But if you don't offer these things, well, guess what? You're only going to get the one thing that you went there for, and they're going to call somebody else for the other things, even though you offered it. But the problem is they didn't know you offered it. People only know what they know until they know more. So your job is to inform them of all the other options and the things you didn't know about, that they didn't know about. That's going to make all the difference. We're talking increasing your profit because you took the time to get there, or they took the time to come to you. So make sure they know everything that you do and how it benefits their life and how it can help them. And how if you're doing one thing, oh, we could add this and it would make this even better. Or we could add this and this would make this even better. Just think like a hamburger. If you just get a burger and a bun, well, hell, that's just going to be pretty miserable. But if you get a burger and a bun, you put a little mayonnaise on it, you put a little ketchup on it, put a little mustard, some pickles, some lettuce, some tomatoes. And all we've done is made this one thing that we went there for, which was a burger, we made it better by adding different things to make it better. Okay, so here we go. Number 4, increase how many times they buy from you. The goal is to get them to buy from you more than once. I always say if they buy from you once, they'll buy from you twice. As long as you made a great experience for that client. It's always about the experience. You always want to make sure that your experience that you give that client is so positive, so powerful, and it's a 5-star experience, and they're always going to want to do business with you again. Call you back for more services, call you back for more products, or whatever it is. But you got to make the effort and you got to make the time to actually get them to buy from you. So how do you do that? How do you do that to get them to buy from you again and again and again? You incentivize. So you want to be able to look, incentivize them to call you back by providing them with the best experience. And also, what else incentivizes them? Remember, we talked about the We Do More letter? The We Do More letter now incentivizes them to call you back. Because now they know you offer this service, 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 this things they never knew you offered. Especially if you're a multifaceted company where you do 3 different things, 4 different things, 5 different things, different services that you guys offer. But at the end of the day, you've got to give them a reason to want to call you back and spend more money with you again. Because once you have them, it's pretty inexpensive to keep them compared to when you first get one. It's a lot more expensive because sometimes getting a client can cost you $200 or $300 just to get one client. So you got to make sure whatever you're doing is going to be worth your while. And the big thing is get them to come back from you and buy from you again and again and again and again. Think of all the places you've been that you've spent money with over and over and over, and ask yourself, why did I continue to go back to all these different places? What was it about them that I liked so much? What could I model in my own business that's like this one that would make my clients want to come back to me on a regular basis, that they'd want to continue to come back and spend money with me all the different times. Think about all those places you've been and write those things down that you loved about that place and ask yourself, do I provide these same kind of services where my clients would come back? Because I know I go back there all the time, so make sure you do the same thing. Okay, here we go. Let's keep this simple here. Adjust and raise your prices. Sometimes you just need to raise your prices because your prices are too low. I've worked with companies who are losing tens of thousands of dollars a year, tens of thousands of dollars a month, all because they needed to raise their prices. Nothing more, nothing less. Their prices were too low. They didn't realize it based on their cost of doing business, based on their efficiency ratings, with their technicians, with their employees. So the prices were just too low. So they had to do an adjustment by looking at their overall picture of what their total cost of doing business currently is, how much money they needed to bring in, how much their average technician was bringing in, and how they needed to create a better billable rate for what they were doing. So sometimes you just need to raise your prices. And raising your prices isn't the worst thing in the world. So don't get caught up like, oh my God, they'll never pay for it. People pay for expensive things all day long, every day. If you don't believe me, I got a friend of mine who just bought a $500,000 Lamborghini. I mean, I like a pickup truck, but he liked a Lamborghini. I'll take my Ford F-250 diesel over his Lamborghini all day long because I like a pickup truck. But people will spend that money this is a comparison. My truck was here, his car was here. People spend the money all day long. They just don't spend it with you because they don't feel like there's enough value there to spend it with you because you don't believe there's enough value there for you to charge it. So the key here is when you raise your prices, make sure that you see your value as something that's very high, that's worthwhile. If you spent tens of thousands of hours in learning how to be something, be somebody, and do something and learn a craft, learn a trade, then don't you think you're worth that money? Don't you think you're worth what they're going to pay you for your time? I mean, seriously, don't you think you're worth it? I think you're worth it. I know I'm worth it. I've spent tens of thousands of hours of learning how to become the very best version of myself. I spent $50,000 in learning, speaking, training, this, that. Think of all the money and the time you've spent in learning how to become who you are today. And ask yourself, are you worth you raising your prices? Well, the market won't bear it. Well, sure, the market will bear it. You're just afraid, not the market. People will always pay higher prices for services and products as long as they see the value. And your job is to always make sure they see the value. Because if they don't see the value, I can assure you of this. They're not going to spend the money. Make sure they see the value, and they'll always continue to buy from you again, and then they're never going to care about how high the price is. That's the difference. Okay, number 6 here. Are you guys ready for this? Stay in touch with your clients. This is a no-brainer. Seriously, it's a no-brainer. You would think that this would be the easiest thing to remember and do, but people don't do it. I think I read a study that it said 67% of people leave working with a company because they never hear from them again. You get a client, they come in, you do business with them, and they never hear from you again. No postcard, no email, no text message, no phone call. So I always say, look, start with this. Start with just a phone call. They did business with you. Call them up. Say, hey, Miss Jones. Hey, this is John. I'm just checking to see how your business went, how our technician was, how did everything go? Did you like the service? Did you love it? Just like that, do a happy call with the client. Do a happy call and find out, were they happy with the services you offered? A text message. How do people communicate today? Most people today, even old people today, in their 70s that I personally know, all text. They love text message. It's such a simple form of communication. Shoot them a text saying, thank you so much for letting us come out to your house today. Thank you for letting us come out to your business today. Thank you very much for us getting the chance to serve you and your family. Email. Send them an email. Always collect the email at every single transaction, at every single experience that you have with that client, because you're going to send them out an email once a week. Offer incentives. Remember, we talked about incentivize. Offer them promotions. Remember, the goal is to get them to spend money again. If they always hear from you, they're always going to think about you. But if they don't hear from you, they forget about you. They forget you existed. See, just a business card gets put away in a drawer and never gets looked at again, and then they forget. They just forget, especially if it wasn't the best experience. So the goal is always to give them something that they're going to remember. This is why I like when we do more letters, I wanted a full size. Something that would be harder to get rid of, harder to hide, and I wanted it to be a folder that folded open that had like coupons and different things inside of it. That was a good incentive for them to call you back, because they would always go back to that. But if you're sending them an email once a week, and maybe you're sending them a text once a month, and you're calling them once a month and just following up with them, that would help tremendously. You're always going to be triggering in their mind, ooh, I got to call these people. I got to call these people. When the time comes, when that need arises, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you. But do you know why they're going to call you? This is why. You did these things. You answered your phone. That's why they're going to call you. You followed through. That's why they're going to call you. And you stayed in touch with them. That's why they're going to call you. Those three things are going to make them call you faster than anything else. If you stay in touch with them, text, call, email. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't say, well, what if they get mad? Well, what if they get mad? They're going to be grateful that you follow up with them. If they don't like it, they'll tell you they don't like it. So don't be afraid to at least try and make the effort, because making the effort is going to change your whole dynamic in how much business you get. So stop being afraid and start doing what you know you need to do. Okay, my name is Eric Rios. Thank you so much for watching this. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're so excited to serve you and your family and your business. Give me a text, 314-591-0479 if you need help with your own business. Look forward to talking to you.